What's up, Muggles? Welcome to this week's Mates, Movies and Malts. I am one of your hosts, Jordan. Join me, as always, are my two very best friends in the whole wide world, Mr. Peter Murray.
Hello.
And Mr. Stefan Campagna.
Hiya.
Full names tonight, I love it.
Gentlemen.
Not bad, man. Best friends in the whole wizarding world.
Ah, yes, very much so.
I love it.
No other ones I would rather cast spells with.
We've been playing with each other's ones for years, let's be totally honest. I'm excited about this week.
I fucking love Harry Potter. It's probably one of my favourite movie franchises of all time.
Aye.
Yeah, I had no pals either like him. This is with me.
Locked in the cupboard. Steve, you excited?
I clearly not as much as the two of yous, but
No.
yeah, I'm going to do my bit.
Yeah, you're such a mad blood, man.
I've just not.
Filthy little mad blood.
I liked the earlier Harry Potter movies, and then it just got darker and darker, and I was just like, nah,
As he
I'm
became
out.
of age.
Oh, because you hate things that go dark and stuff. We were trying to get you into musicals a couple of weeks ago, and the first thing you wanted to do was the Dark Knight musical. Like, we keep discussing how dark you like things, but Harry Potter got too dark.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. This is the thing though. I've seen them all. I've seen all of the Harry Potter movies, but I know I would never go back and watch any of the later ones now.
The best ones, man.
No, for some reason the very first one holds some kind of place in my heart, probably just because of the age I was when I watched it. So for nostalgia's sake, I really enjoy the first one. But
That's the one we always skip.
Really?
Skip
the first one?
Skip.
Oh, see, I would skip Chamber.
Professor Quirrell's a great face little bitch.
He certainly is.
So to set the tone for this week, so as you can guess, we are talking about Harry Potter, and we're not here to really talk about the movies, we're more here to talk about the new TV show that's going to be coming out, which is just a TV show based on the movies, and we don't know why people are making it, apart from money. But we are going to talk a little bit about the movies, and then we'll move on, and we're going to talk about casting the adult roles in the new TV show. We are aware that the Golden Trio are going to be brand new child actors. We thought it'd be a bit creepy if we were sitting here casting child actors as well, so we're going to leave that well alone. So I think we'll just kick off. So Harry Potter, what does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to you?
Well, I'll go first, seeing as Stefan doesn't like it apparently.
I've kind of done my bit on this already.
It means nothing. I don't know, I mean, you are definitely the biggest Harry Potter fan in the group, right? I really enjoyed the films. I absolutely loved the books. The thing for me with Harry Potter, I was a late adopter, right? Because it's mad to me when you think that the first book came out, it was in 97. The first movie came out in 2001. And I remember it coming out and all the hype at the same time as Lord of the Rings. And I was so heavily focused on Lord of the Rings that I convinced myself that Harry Potter was just going to be for kids.
Because you thought Lord of the Rings was going to be a porn model?
Well, of course, of course. The version I've got in the house is. But I was a very early adopter, and I started reading the books later on, and I just got so into them, and I got to the stage where I couldn't wait for the next book, I couldn't wait for the next film. So I know it's been interesting because everything else that we love as geeks existed before we did.
Yeah.
Batman, Superman, Spider-Man were all decades before us. Star Wars existed. We were catching up on all of that, whereas we watched Harry Potter become. And it's definitely become one of the biggest, certainly probably the biggest movie and book phenomenon in our lifetimes.
Everything else is connected with it as well. All the other properties, you've got the toys, you've got games, board games, video games. Let's not forget early 2000s Hagrid.
Exactly.
Graphics could get any better.
I mean, it changed everything as well. It was like, we talk about that sort of stuff quite a lot. We talk about the MCU changing movies. Harry Potter changed everything from like all of a sudden every studio was looking for the next Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So as much as I love it, we also have it to thank for stuff like Divergent and Twilight, which is, I know, Stefan's favourite vampire movie.
Yeah.
But
New Moon, it was the second one was his favourite.
That's right, New Moon, aye. But,
Team Jacob.
So no, I love it. Team what?
Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
So I love it. I'm excited to talk about it tonight.
Good.
Awesome.
Steve, any other thoughts on your original thoughts?
No, my favourite movie's probably going to annoy you, but that's fine.
If you say the Three Musketeers, I could have go daft.
Harry Potter, the Three Musketeers.
I'd watch that one.
Fair enough. So we'll move on then to Harry Potter movies. So I'll kick us off on this one. So my favourite Harry Potter movie was The Half-Blood Prince, and this is probably when you start falling away for it, because this is when it kind of made the jump from tweeny to more adult. It became a lot darker. They became killing people. They have had a cadaver curse made an appearance for the first time, I believe.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, it was Half-Blood Prince. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Apologies.
That was the previous
Apologies. I will cut that out.
Spoilers.
Even I remembered that.
That's my boy.
I thought about casting him.
It just became a lot darker. That's when I really kind of got into it. It was also my favourite book. I don't know, just the vibe changed altogether.
Oh, massively.
The start of the uprising again. It was just fucking good times, man.
Yeah, man.
Half-Blood Prince.
I really enjoyed Half-Blood Prince as well. I mean, see, for the most part, I enjoyed all of them. It's the same as Star Wars. Like, I'll enjoy all of Star Wars, but some of them are poorer than others. My favourite, and for me objectively the best, is Prisoner of Azkaban. And I think that's the one where the tone shifted, because they brought in, what was his name, the Spanish director, I can never remember his name, but they brought him in, and it was he'd taken over from Chris Columbus, who'd done the first two, and the first two were kids movies.
Yep.
Like, they absolutely were. First one feels like a Christmas movie, and I've talked before about how the music is same and stuff. But
I've completely lost the order. Is that the third one?
that's the third one.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that's Sirius Black. You get introduced to, you learn about the Grimm. They start talking about like they're reading the tea leaves and stuff like that, and they've got the wee kid. Do you ever see the memes online actually about the young guy that's got 2 lines in all of Harry Potter, and they're the 2 darkest lines ever, and he's talking about the Grey and how it'll come and eat you and whatever else, and he just delivers them with sheer dread.
Yeah.
But Azkaban, I think's objectively the best one.
Fair enough.
Steve?
Could I have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
Yes, I consider it.
Because of all of them,
It's Potter more.
Yeah, because I think that's the one I've watched the most.
What was that called? Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
Nah, just called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. No, I think that's probably my favourite one. I'm annoyed at myself now because I can't remember the name of... sorry?
Grindelwald?
No, the character.
Newt Scamander.
No, his pal, his Muggle pal, that makes the whole movie.
It's the brother.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember I can't remember the character and I can't remember the actor, but supposedly I've seen this movie a lot.
I think I'm getting older. I'm really fucking struggling with names. There's something
But no, that's my, of all the films that have come from the Harry Potter universe, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is my favourite, and I really dislike all the sequels of it. I thought they were really poor. I don't like the direction they went, because again, that was like a really whimsical. I mean, there are dark elements of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but the sequels just went away from like the fun creatures and into all the Grindelwald stuff, and just kind of ruined it for me.
I really liked it because it gave you, so obviously Harry Potter set in the UK, but Fantastic Beasts is set in America, so it gave you
it fleshed out the world, didn't it?
Instead of Muggles, they call them no-magies, and you got to see what the Ministry of Magic and stuff looked like. It was kind of...
Colin Farrell was great in that as well.
Colin Farrell's great in everything. I really, the first one I really enjoyed. I still quite enjoyed the second one, and I've not even watched the third one yet.
I've not watched the third one.
I don't. Well, they brought in Mads Mikkelsen. He's actually quite good.
Still fucking for Johnny Depp, but
the whole film seems to switch, and it's no longer about Newt, and it's about Dumbledore. I don't know, felt kind of pointless as a movie in that series, but it was fine. I was just glad it was over.
Okay, so then next characters. So who would you say is your favourite character from the Harry Potter universe?
Sirius Black.
Sirius?
Gary Oldman, really liked him. Another reason why I might have really hated the sequels, because introduced him and then just as quickly killed him. And I was just like, I'm not allowed to have anything.
You give me Gary Oldman vibes, by the way.
In what way? That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. But
it means you give him like Gary old man vibes.
He's gonna die soon. I don't know what that is. You do. You give me Gary Oldman vibes. I'd maybe say Sirius Black vibes.
That's really nice.
I think if you were a Harry Potter character, it probably would be Sirius Black.
Or one of the Blacks.
Like honourable, but with an edge.
Hopefully just not without the prison time. I couldn't survive in prison. I wouldn't make it.
It was the Dementors.
Who's your favourite?
I had Sirius was my backup, but I assumed that one of you guys would take that. But my favourite character in all of Harry Potter is Hermione, by miles, and largely influenced by the books, more so than the representation in the films.
Fair.
Even in the films, Emma Watson gets drastically better over the years and becomes the one that I think is probably the strongest actor of the three main, the Golden Trio. But Hermione, in terms of how her character develops, she's the strongest and smartest witch in the whole year and above, but she's Muggle born. I just thought she was the most relatable character. She wasn't the chosen one. She wasn't born into a historic family. She just had a natural affinity for it, and learned and became absolutely amazingly powerful and stuff. So Hermione's probably my favourite character.
Fair enough.
Good choice.
For me, it would be Professor Mad-Eye Moody.
Mad-Eye.
Mad-Eye Moody was just a fucking maniac. He didn't really give much of a fuck.
Actual Mad-Eye, or when David Tennant is pretending?
No, I didn't like it when David Tennant was pretending to be him and stuff. That was all really good, but it was still the same character. That he was still being the same Mad-Eye Moody. Otherwise, it would have gave it away. So that is his.
Yeah.
Does he get a lot more time in the books? No.
Not really.
Not really. Memorable
but
when he's in it though.
Brendan Gleeson was absolutely amazing at playing him, man. It was a phenomenal bit of casting, and he fit that character so well, and he played it so well.
Brendan Gleeson for me is one of the people that you put in any film and you instantly, it's like what they used to call a 10%er. You put him in any film and it's immediately 10% better. That's what you used to call it. Like, Kim Newman and folk like that used to talk about it. But for me, everything he's in, he improves.
Yeah.
And he was, and this is as we move into the later piece, I think this is potentially one of the issues that you have. I found this really hard, what we're about to do, because so many of them are perfect.
Yeah.
And he's one of those. Can you imagine Mad-Eye Moody being done better?
Maybe not better, maybe different,
but better.
Same level, but just different. I wouldn't necessarily say better.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing I will say is that Harry Potter had way too many fucking white people, man.
Aye, it's, I mean,
needs a bit of diversity.
It was whitewashed without the. I mean, to be fair, it's about a school in Scotland, right? Like, but and there's obviously like there was. Let's not get any controversial subjects, right?
All.
Yeah.
There was a lot of diverse characters in it, but a lot of them ticked a lot of stereotypical boxes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Characters.
Exactly.
Reoccurring characters, but nobody that was actually getting a lot of time, screen time.
And some of the names were probably a little bit problematic as well.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, I'm not going to help. Casting white people, sorry.
I
apologise in advance, everyone.
Mine as well, but again, I'm basing it on what I envisaged when I read the books.
No, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
lastly then, so what is your favourite spell from Harry Potter?
Favourite spell?
love it.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus, because it's the only one I can think of.
What does Expelliarmus do?
Just fuck people up.
Right, okay.
Well, it does if you're Harry. It's the disarming charm. It's the disarming charm.
Oh,
which is kind of what you have. You've got a bit of a disarming charm about you.
That's
the Gary Oldman thing. For me, the Patronus, Expecto Patronum, largely because of the movies, the way they deliver it. For me, I felt finally was a bit of really, really good acting from Daniel Radcliffe. And I love the fact that they linked a spell. She linked a spell when she wrote the book so heavily to someone's like inert being, their spirit animal, and it represented them. And I thought that was just very, very clever. But the other one that came very, very close, I'll not say it in case it's yours, and then I'll give a
so mine's
mention.
Accio. I think Accio would be class if you lose something.
Classio.
Accio car keys. Accio mobile.
See, the thing is, if you Accio car keys, who's to say they're going to be your car keys?
They might not be. That's the thing. Well, you used to say Accio Peter's car keys. Your car keys would come out. But I think Accio's a great spell. Like, you seen it in Goblet of Fire when Cedric Diggory had been killed and they Accio'd the port key and they teleported back. Accio was just a retrieval spell.
I thought you were going to say Accio Cedric. Just his
corpse. Accio Cedric.
Accio that corpse.
I love it. The one that I had as a kind of back, I had to mention it because it's one of my favourite bits in all of the movies. And we're not talking about the old actors, right? But we did this year lose Maggie Smith. and Maggie Smith before Harry Potter has been one of my favourite actresses of all time, right? Like, I adore her, right? Like, I could watch anything that she's in, right? She's like the female Paul Newman for me. And when the bit in the final movie when she animates them all, and I've written it down so I could say it right. Pier totum locomotor. And it's not even the spell. Do your duty for your school.
The school.
I absolutely love it, man. And it's the way she goes, I've always wanted to use that spell.
It's a cheeky wee face.
Oh, she's so good, man. And how good's the accent when she does it as well? So, that was my honourable mention.
Yeah. So we are going to move on to the whiskey of the week.
Yes.
Pedro, I believe you have something special for us this week. The link is going to be absolutely seamless, so I'm told.
It's the best link yet.
We have decided that we're not going to make this a long, drawn out thing this week. We are just going to... You'll introduce it. Tell us what we're drinking this week. We're going to kind of nurse it throughout the rest of the episode.
Yes.
We are not playing right hand down it this week. We're just going to enjoy ourselves.
We've got Christmas nights out tomorrow and stuff like that, so we don't really want to die.
Nah.
The tenuous link is an absolute screamer, and I'm finding that's the most interesting bit about the whiskey, to be honest, because listen, even as a whiskey fan, I'm never going to be a self-proclaimed expert, right? I noticed when we recorded one of the episodes previously, I was like, kind of trying, what do you think of this? You're like, what much more do you want from me, mate? So what I think we do is we just enjoy the whiskey journey as it takes us. However, Harry Potter week, right? And I wish I'd thought of something as slick as, Harry Potter was set in Scotland, so we've done a Scottish whiskey. That'd have been airtight.
Literally off the top of my head.
However, who was your favourite character?
Mad-Eye Moody.
Yep, and what was he drinking the whole time that he was Barty Crouch?
Polyjuice Potion.
Polyjuice Potion. And what's the note of the main thing about Polyjuice Potion? Other than the fact that it changes your appearance?
It's
made of grapefruit.
Tastes like arse.
It's notoriously disgraceful to drink, right? And I thought, you know, what better time than to try and put some hairs in your chest than to give you a bit of a stronger whiskey. So I brought a Smoky Bad Boy from Isla. And we have spoken a few times about this whiskey in passing because we've mentioned we've mentioned Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman a few times. He has a relationship with this distillery. The distillery is called Lagavulin. It's an entry level, it's Lagavulin 8, largely because it's the only Lagavulin that I have. But I want to see how you handle something a little bit more full on than the stuff that I've been introducing you to.
Cool.
Whiskey segment done.
So is this, if this was cocaine, would this be the prop?
If this was cocaine, this is the blue meth.
Oh shit.
Right, this is Heisenberg's
Thanks very
best.
much.
Claude Mother, I'll pour you one, you can come and grab it.
Oh shit.
Made my mistake, I put my nose right in there.
Oh, don't do that.
Struggled.
Do you want to pass that to the pod?
Oh, sorry, she's in there.
She's
She's in there.
shot now,
She's
aye.
fine.
She does exist.
It's my arm.
And I'll leave a wee measure because I'm going to put it in the...
What's this glass called?
This is a Glencairn.
Thanks.
Mine says
I've
Balboa.
decided with the Infinity bottle, the Mates Movies and Malts blend, I was thinking, I'm going to try and make everything complement everything. I've just decided now I'm just going to fuck shit up.
Right, cool.
See what
Nice.
we end up with.
Thank
So,
you,
It's
Liz.
fine. Could be an absolute monstrosity by the end of it. But
That's
anyway.
very strong.
it is.
Are you smelling that and enjoying?
I love it. I absolutely
okay.
love it. You're not feeling it?
It's much paler than the usual whiskey we've been drinking.
But it is,
Yeah, I
it's
think-
because it's
is
quite
that-
young. So it's only an 8-year-old whiskey, so normally when you see the colour of it, I know, when you see the colour of whiskies getting darker and darker, it's because they spent longer in the wood.
Right, okay.
But aye.
You're doing this on purpose?
It's back
Yes.
to aging. Mine that week, he just wouldn't stop
Aye,
talking
just
about aging.
Couldn't stop them.
So,
Right, okay.
aye, let's see what you think.
Oh, fuck. Right.
Holy shit. That is fucking beautiful.
Oh, is it?
Aye, that is beautiful.
I was expecting that to be a lot worse.
Yes!
I think with the smell you're expecting it to be really, really strong, but it's really, really smooth.
Some of the tasting notes that you get off of Isla whiskies are notoriously smoky, right, because of the content and the rocks around Isla and the water, right? So they're famous for it world over. It's a tiny, tiny little island, and it makes some of the most famous whiskies in the history of the industry, right? The notes you usually get are like iodine, band-aids, smoky
So see, you
bacon.
say that tastes a bit like medicine.
Aye, medicinal notes
Aye.
is a huge phrase that gets used all the time.
But nice medicine.
Aye,
I will
Calpol.
take- I will take my medicine.
But I love the
That's
fact that you
really
both quite like it. Lagavulин's good stuff. Right, whiskey segment definitely done this time. Let's just enjoy it.
One more question.
Let's do it.
How much would that set you back?
I think you get that for about 40ish just now.
Right, okay.
So Lagavulin main one, the one that Ron Swanson used to talk about all the time, is Lagavulin 16. That's their kind of their flagship. That whiskey's gone up quite a lot in price over the last few years because of things like the alcohol tax and the cost of ingredients. Basically, they get levied for exports. So it went from being about you used to be able to get it for between 50 and 60 quid quite regularly, the main one, and now you're lucky if you get it for under kind of 75 to 80 pounds.
Right, okay.
That being said, it was on Amazon's Black Friday last week, and there was 2 bottles available at 55 quid, and I may or may not have ordered them. As long as Kirsten doesn't know that yet.
She doesn't watch this, it's fine.
Exactly, she's not a fan of the podcast. But they introduced this as kind of their route to market for people that don't want to be spending £80 on a daily drinker.
That is my number one now.
Love that.
That is beautiful.
Oh, Jordan likes the hard stuff.
That is beautiful. Well, don't.
He always does. He always does. Steve?
I have obviously not had as many as you because I've drove the last couple of times with it, but second.
Oh wow, you like it as well.
What's still top for you?
That very first one I had, the expensive one.
36-year-old Balblair.
That doesn't count.
Is it not?
No, because I'm never ever going to get.
Oh, then by default, then I
again.
guess that will be number one. This will be number one.
That would still be my number one.
Yeah.
That's £1,000 bottle of whiskey.
Last thing we'll say on the whiskey, and listen, maybe bring it back in throughout the episode. The last thing I'll say on it is, if I had told you guys that in week 1, you would both have breathed fire.
Aye.
Without a shadow of a doubt. So because you're getting used to it, you've tried a few different bits and pieces. That shows you that you are developing a taste for it.
I'm still about there anyway, like just because I missed a few, but
even then, number one, Lagavulin. Turns out Nick Offerman knows what he's talking about.
Introducing us to it, Pedro.
You're welcome, guys.
Okay, so before we go on to the casting of the characters for the new TV show, so there's a new TV show slated for a 2026 release. It's going to be based on the books, and each season will apparently take on one of the books, so I'm led to believe. So they're not really breaking any new ground, and we know what the story's going to be, so there's not really going to be any surprises. So I suppose the biggest thing we can look forward to is updated CGI graphics and a whole new cast.
Yep.
So as we spoke about, the Golden Trio are going to be all brand new child actors. They may or may not have been in something before. A casting call went out kind of earlier on this year. As of my research in November 2024, no official announcements have been made about the cast, and it gives us a great chance to do some fan casting, so there's nothing been confirmed as of yet. So let's dig into it then.
Let's do it. Can I have one thought though on the thought of the TV show? The one thing that I am excited about them doing, and they've been very, very conscious in communicating when they've been putting anything out about it, is being as faithful to the books as they possibly can be. And one criticism I would always have of the movies, there were pieces of the books that were massively changed and completely left out.
Bits of just
and I actually think TV's a really good format for this, so I'm excited to see what they do to realise lots of different bits and pieces. I hated the way, spoiler, Dumbledore died in the movies versus the books. They've got to be more loyal.
What I really think would be a good idea as well is, see the first season, nothing to do with any of the books, it's all Voldemort's uprising. You've got that whole story, the Order of the Phoenix with Neville's mum and stuff like that in it. All of that, so before we even get to season 2, that's before we even start looking at Harry Potter. I think that's a really good chance for them to spend a bit of time somewhere else in the actual story.
Didn't read the books.
So on my list, it's me that's first, so if
let's do you first, man.
I'll kick off. So the first one that I've got is Voldemort, and I have cast Jamie Campbell Bower. For those who don't know, is Vecna from Stranger Things. There's a wee fly. Distracted me there. ADHD kicking in. I think he would make a very, very good Voldemort.
Yes.
He was amazing in Stranger Things, played a very good Vecna, played a very good cross between human Vecna and then upside down Vecna.
Yes.
I think he's got a touch of the Voldemort about him.
I would have one comment. Are you at all concerned about his age?
No, I'm going to say for the bat, I'm not really giving a fuck about anybody's ages. I have cast.
I've went totally the opposite.
Just who I think would be good in that role, regardless of their age. So
do you remember the Jamie Campbell Bower was in the Harry Potter movies?
Was he?
Yeah.
Who was he?
He was young Gellert Grindelwald when he jumps out the window. It's like a cameo.
At the house?
Aye, and it was him that played in that. It was like his first kind of movie role and stuff like that.
I did not realise that was him.
I wish I had remembered he existed, because he is a phenomenal actor, and I think he's a tremendous. And I genuinely think he could play multiple parts.
Oh, 100%.
But based off of Vecna, I love that. What a shout.
I can't think of anything else I've seen him in other than Stranger Things, and then that movie with Lily Collins that wasn't very good. I can't remember what that was called now. Some
Is that
like
Jackie's sister?
Sorry. It was another movie based off a book. I think it was a Hunger Games style, but it was a thing about people hunting monsters at night or something. I can't remember what the hell it was called.
I do remember this.
But
Monster Hunters at night.
He wasn't great in that. So has he been particularly good in anything outside of Stranger Things? I only know
The
him.
main thing I know from
Stranger Things.
Right, okay.
He's in
Fair
Stranger
enough.
Things.
I did like him, and I've actually he was one of the names I considered for another person that I've cast.
The thing that I really loved about him in Stranger Things was the fact it wasn't when he was brilliant when he was made up as Vecna, but it was see all the scenes with like so when he's in the facility. That's the word. Thank you. I just thought he was brilliant. He was so disconcerting, but he balanced it with actually you could see that there was genuinely like a good heart in him, and he just played that like very very similarly we mentioned on the Gunniverse episode about the Craig Montgomery.
Yeah,
very similar idea, just balance that dark and the light
brilliantly.
Lovely, love it, great
So
shout.
that was my Voldemort.
Did anybody have any other thoughts on Voldy?
No, because I only had Voldemort.
Yeah, I didn't cast outside of the names I was.
See, I went rogue because it was Harry Potter and I couldn't help myself. I went a lot older.
Okay.
Robert Carlyle.
Right, okay.
You'd be shorter than the kids that are playing Harry Potter.
Fucking Tom Cruise was Jack Reacher. Looking for
Exactly.
a post.
I like Robert Carlyle.
I love Robert Carlyle.
Did you
and I
ever
think
watch Once Upon a Time?
Oh, when he was
He was Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
And he played a really kind of good and bad character at times, and he was brilliant in that. And that's what when you've said that, that's what I'm seeing it as. I think he could also be a really good shout for that.
maybe make him Grindelwald in the future Fantastic Beasts whenever they remake that. Cool. Next.
Next up on my list, I've got Stefan for Sirius Black.
Oh yeah, okay, so this is the first person that I cast.
Not him being Sirius Black.
This is the first person I cast.
Gary Oldman to be fair.
I'll try this again.
Oh, sorry. Sirius Black was the first character I cast, and this kind of decided the age profile that I was going to go with for all of my characters, because the majority of the ones I got all were ones that were supposedly the same age when were in the same year at school. So this kind of decided, and I went with Jack O'Connell.
Right, okay.
Mate, you kidding me on?
No, Jack O'Connell.
I've cast Jack O'Connell as Sirius. Sirius Black.
I think he's.
Don't read the rest of it. Jack O'Connell.
There you go.
It's a great shout. Jack O'Connell.
Yeah, I think he's really, really good. Obviously, I think Unbroken's probably still his like biggest role. But he's Startup was really good in that as well. I think he's brilliant, and I think particularly that role, for some reason, just something about him. He just looks the part. Again, I don't know the Sirius Black character from the books. I only know the one from the movies. And as a stand-in for the Gary Oldman, I think he'd be a great choice.
I love it.
That's
But I can't believe you cast the same person on the first one.
I'll also cast everybody as well. I went a little bit different, possibly a little bit older. I went with Ben Barnes, who was Jigsaw and the Punisher. As a Sirius Black, I think he'd be a good shout.
I think he'd be pretty good as well.
Sirius Black look about him.
I mean,
definitely got the look down.
You give me Ben. I was going to can't remember.
I do really love Ben Barnes. I think that's a tremendous shout as well.
Yeah.
No, even, I think he's still. The man's so ridiculously handsome that I think he can still play a fair bit younger as well.
Oh, 100%.
He's only, I think he was born like 81, 82.
Yeah, so he's in his 40s.
He's not too far away from the age that you would want.
Gary Oldman was probably older than 40 when he played.
Oh, 100%.
Well, I think most of them would have been.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I think that like he could fit into the world with a lot of other people. What was that a bad one?
Just the way you said
He could fit into the world with a lot of other people that are cast in it as well. So I think that's a great shout. And I again, it's another person that I forgot about. I really love Ben Barnes.
Glay.
Ben Barnes.
Dan Brown's is great.
What we're currently doing is recasting Harry Potter.
Next on the list we have Pedro, and you have Lupin.
So for Lupin, in fact, yes. Again, I've done the same as you. Right, like, that's one thing in the book. I mean, in the books, James and Lily and everything, there's 21, 22 by the time the Harry's born and everything happens, right?
They die.
They do, exactly.
Spoilers.
So I've gone young as well. I went for Thomas Brodie Sangster. So he's the guy. I'll need to show you his face because you'll know it. I've not got a phone. Thomas Brodie Sangster he was in the Divergent films. He's done episodes and everything. Son of Rambo when he was really young. You'll know exactly who I mean as soon as you see
I've got an image in my head.
Thomas Brodie.
There's the man.
Oh yeah.
Aye.
Peter Pan. He was also
Peter
in Once
Pan.
Upon a Time.
There you go. I think he's a fabulous little actor. And I think that again, what he's got is that kind of, because the thing I loved about Lupin was the kind of twinkle in the eye. Like, and yes, he had this whole dark side to him, but he was quite light-hearted in the way that he dealt with the kids and stuff. And I think that he could play that, especially if you're looking at Lupin from the point of view of having this big, deep, dark secret, but also still actually being able to function day to day. I think he could represent that.
Am I
really
right in
well.
saying he's the wee boy for love, actually?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, okay,
Yes.
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 I could 100% see him playing that role, the mentor for the kids role.
Yeah.
I think that was a great
I
one.
think he'd be cool.
Good shout.
Fair.
Love it.
Pedro, we're coming back to you, and you're up for Dumbledore.
Oh, casting big early. Okay.
So they could be in high school.
That was sherry heavy. I'm quite pleased with this casting. I thought about Gary Oldman. It's been very, very heavily linked. What I've thought is I don't want to go for somebody that's like Ian McKellen would be an obvious one. Like, I don't want to go, if we're talking 7 seasons to cover 7 books, right, and no doubt they'll do what they always do, in the last season will be split into 2 or 3.
I think we're going to see overlaps.
I think so, right? You're going to be talking someone that can play this part for at least the next 10 to 12 years if the series goes well, right?
Yeah.
I thought, who's somebody that can do that, right? And for me in the original films, Richard Harris playing Dumbledore was astonishing.
I think we've picked the same guy.
Jared Harris,
Yes.
Wow.
his son.
You were saying that. I was
Yeah.
thinking
So Jared Harris, for those of you who don't know, was in the Sherlock movies. He played Moriarty. He was also in Chernobyl, and he is Richard Harris's son.
He is. He was also played in one of the performance that sold me on it, as he played, I think it was King George III or whatever. It was the Queen's dad, like the Queen from our generation, not that she's our Queen, but the Queen's dad in The Crown, and he's just got that. See the softness that Richard Harris had as Dumbledore, but the edge that Michael Gambon had as Dumbledore.
Yes.
He's got it
Perfect.
both.
I think he's perfect.
I thought that was a tremendous shout. I'm dead pleased with that casting.
he was in Mad Men as well.
He was.
It's a good choice.
Did you pick anybody different?
No, I just wanted to comment, obviously stumbled and made the mistake, but Ed Harris is Dumbledore, it's a very different,
great
very
film.
different.
Aye, that'd be very weird.
Great film.
Absolutely.
But I'm
Jared Harris, loving it.
Yeah, Jared Harris.
Ah,
Good
he's
shout.
we're good at this, by the way.
Listen, Warner Brothers.
Aye.
He's a phone. Stefan, you're up next, and we're on Snape.
Right, okay, so
We're cast. We're going big, man. I love it. Big names early.
really,
It means that they're shit ones.
Exactly.
I've done a spinny wheel hang.
Get Ronaldo and Messi right out at the start.
It was totally random.
I really
Ian
struggled.
Durant.
I actually at one time had Jamie Campbell-Bower as Snape, just because he fit the age profile.
Long
and
dark
I had
hair,
seen him.
skinny.
I thought he could do the whole, you're convinced he's a bad guy, but has the good side of him.
Yeah.
I thought he would do that well. The other one I thought for that was Dev Patel.
Oh, okay.
Just because I think he's a fantastic actor.
He's an actor.
So I would love to see. My main concern with that character in particular, and probably with some other characters as well, just because of how long it's been, he will suffer. Whoever plays Snape will suffer just for not being Alan Rickman.
Aye, 100%.
Oh,
So
without
I
doubt.
think the way you go with that is either you get someone who's going to play it very differently, different look, different mannerisms, which Dev Patel could do, or my other one, I was desperately trying to fit in someone that was in the previous Harry Potter movies into this, and I thought,
If you say Daniel Radcliffe,
No,
I'm
no.
a bit of a fit.
no, Harry Melling, he played
yeah.
the
Dudley.
Dursley.
Okay.
Now I've
Did the
seen
Queen's
him.
Gambit.
He did the Queen's Gambit. He did the Pale Blue Eye, where he played Edgar Allan Poe. He's actually quite a good actor, and I feel like if you were to cast him, you'd probably go Dev Patel over him. But if you were to cast him, I think you would have people on board just for wanting him to have like a meteor role.
I don't
I think
anybody from the original film should be coming back.
No,
See, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think that it being Dudley, it would be too wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
Like, so like, a lot of the fan casting has been Gary Oldman for Dumbledore, and I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all, and he was obviously a major part of the films.
He looks very different now. I actually think a lot of people wouldn't recognise him just for how different he looks.
So,
Like an example here, right? Because you could potentially look at bringing back the Golden Trio for like cameos or something, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And I don't hate that as long as it doesn't
Shove in
sidetrack
the face.
things.
Yeah.
did you do any alternatives?
I did. I mean, the Dev Patel one I like, and do you know the weird thing about Dev Patel is the worst film that he's ever been in is the film that makes me feel like he'd be quite a good Snape, The Last Airbender.
Oh god.
Do you remember just the way he was in that film? That kind of whole standoffishness.
Couldn't do the eyeshadow again though.
I don't know. I think Snape and some eyeshadow would work.
Dev Patel's also on my list for another character.
Oh, I look forward to hearing about it. My casting for Snape was Matt Smith. And I promise I'm not going to do this every time we fan cast something. We'll just find
just
a
always
place
Matt
for
Smith.
them.
So I
But-
also have Matt Smith on the list as well. With first
I'm loving you tonight, man. I'm loving you tonight. But Matt Smith as Snape, the Dev Patel might be too good looking. Do you know what I mean? Depending on who you're casting, James, it maybe be a bit like why in God's earth did Lily not go for Severus? But no, Matt Smith I think would be a fantastic Snape.
Fair enough.
My alternative for Snape was Andrew Scott.
Right?
From Sherlock and Ripley. He's obviously quite a bit shorter, but I'm fine with that.
The future Joker.
But I think he would play a really good Snape. He's got that good line between good and bad.
Yeah.
You could believe him as being a bad guy. We've seen him as a bad guy, and you've also seen him as a good guy. And I think he played both of them really, really well.
I'm
I think he'd be
absolutely
great
livid because that's a far better shout than him. Far better shout than me. Why have I not got Andrew Scott on my list?
So I'm up next. I had Professor McGonagall, and I've went with Olivia Colman.
Oh, that's
Love it.
brilliant.
I think you would get a. Again,
That's
we're
so good.
I think I'll
so
get that
good.
beat.
looking at longevity. You know, so we all know Olivia Colman's fucking acting chops, man. She's
I know.
absolutely
She's amazing.
outstanding. She will put a shift in no matter what she's in, and I think she'll play an amazing McGonagall.
Yeah, I like
But I'm
that. I
interested
really
to see
like
who
that.
you've got.
So I've gone a bit rogue right now. Olivia Colman was extraordinarily close for a few on my list, right? And I love her. I think she's an astonishing actress. The only reason I've not included her is, what I like so far is that we've all come up with names that we think that seem that they would be gettable for a TV show like this, right?
It's
So we've not
HBO, man,
went.
HBO money.
Exactly, but we're not going Margot Robbie and do you know what I mean? Like, let's get the Hollywood A-list, right?
Yeah.
Olivia Colman is Oscars for her, and I know she still does TV and stuff like that. So that was the only thing that talked me out of it. But for McGonagall, let me just remind myself. Yeah, Sarah Lancashire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I think
a lot of
the
people
two
would know her as
of them are
Raquel.
Oliver.
Oh, Sarah, so obviously Olivia Colman's worldwide.
No,
Yeah.
I
astonishing.
mean actual like
But
UKness and
aye.
acting.
Sarah Lancashire, Happy Valley. Have
Yeah.
you watched Happy Valley?
Love Happy
Stefan,
Valley.
have you watched Happy Valley?
What's Happy Valley?
She in that,
It was amazing.
it's as good as it gets.
Is that bad at times?
It's really badly timed considering I'm busting my back teeth as well now. This is the problem when you drink Guinness on the podcast, ladies and folk. Ladies and folk.
Ladies and folk.
That's the problem when you drink Guinness on the podcast,
Guys,
ladies and
gals,
folk.
and non-binary pals.
If
I
there's a
think-
natural break coming up soon, I could do it because my battery's low.
Right, we'll do that in just a
So
second.
we'll do that after this character. One thing I would say is I would prefer Olivia Colman purely just because I think
Olivia Colman.
she would be just that little bit funnier with it.
Do you know that? Oh, I disagree with that, man. But
Sarah Lancashire's really funny in Happy Valley at times.
I've seen Happy Valley.
aye.
She's really funny in it.
I thought she was.
I didn't say you didn't.
thought she was fine, but I don't think
The
she's
issue
as
I would
good
have
as
with Olivia Colman is she's borderline too famous. And I think Olivia Colman's at that point now where when you see her in anything, she's Olivia Colman. She's getting to that stage now where it was this in The Crown, for example. I know you guys haven't watched The Crown yet, have you?
Nah,
You need to, by the way. But
I'm
when
not watching
in her stint as the
Fuck with
Queen,
my family.
in her stint, so Claire Foy played the Queen the first couple, Imelda Staunton, Umbridge, played on the last couple, and she's the Queen. Olivia Colman was just Olivia Colman, and she's brilliant in it, she's still great, but you just can't see anybody but Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
I think Sarah Lancashire, especially in a worldwide audience, nobody outside the UK is going to know who she is that hasn't seen Happy Valley, and I think she deserves it, man.
Up next then we have Stefan, and you have Hagrid. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I thought of this one quite quickly, and I was really, really proud of myself. And then I discovered that everyone else that's been fan casting this has picked this exact same actor. And then I showed up here, and I can see John's laptop, and he's picked the exact same guy as well.
I'm going to be honest, man. Right, if you've picked the same as me, it is a miracle.
No,
like, and I am like, honest to God. But I think you will like mine. But I'm interested in hearing yours.
So I went with Nick Frost. Okay,
Yeah,
I think he is fantastic in everything I've ever seen him in. He's just got a natural likability and lovability about him. He's naturally really funny. I think he would fill out that big costume. He would need to put a wee bit of weight, a wee bit of weight back on, just to fill out that suit properly. But I just think he would be like a great choice, and just like a really charming big guy to be around whatever child actors they cast for the main trio.
And like you said, I've also got Nick Frost on that, but off the back of that, I also think that Simon Pegg would make a great Professor Quirrell.
Ooh, I love that.
So you're getting a 2-for-1 in the first season, or whatever season you do it in, Philosopher's Stone.
I considered Nick Frost, and listen, I love him. I didn't include him because he's been spoken about so much online, but I would love Simon Pegg to be involved in some way. I actually, believe it or not, considered Simon Pegg for Voldemort. Right?
Really?
It's a stretch.
It's a bit left field.
But I think could he pull it off?
Probably.
Yes.
I think Simon Pegg's a very underrated actor in my opinion. Right? But Nick Frost, I never thought Nick Frost was an actor. Right? I always thought he was just Nick Frost. He played the same part and everything. Right? And in my weekly pledge and pitch to get you guys to spend any time in the Doctor Who universe, he did a Christmas special in Peter Capaldi's reign as Doctor Who, and he played Santa, and he was phenomenal in it, right? And it's not just like he was brilliant in it. I'm with it. I'm feeling it. I love it.
But you said you picked someone pretty.
And mine's is random. By the way,
I also have a Hagrid alternative.
Let's hear it. I want to hear yours first because mine's need to be last.
My Hagrid alternative was Lenny Henry. I think Lenny Henry would make a really fucking good Hagrid.
Okay, I'm feeling that. I love Lenny Henry.
Who doesn't?
Love him.
Man's a national hero.
I think he's so underrated as how funny he is and how much of an impact he's
Rings
had.
of Power, have you?
No, not yet. No.
It was fucking amazing in Rings of Power. He plays a hobbit.
Alright.
And he's absolutely amazing in it. He's like the elder of the kind of like clan. And he was fucking outstanding.
Were they allowed to be called hobbits in that?
Aye.
I thought there was a whole thing about how they couldn't use that term.
Well, no, they're not called hobbits, but they are hobbits.
Yeah,
we all know what's happening.
The politically correct term is Ewoks.
Vertically challenged.
Mine is a very, very distinct Scottish feel. So Scottish, in fact, that most people outside of Scotland won't know who this is, but every single person in Scotland does know who this is. For Hagrid, I want Ford Kiernan. Okay.
Based on his Deadpool.
That was Greg Empoli. Well done, you real men are built. Ford Kiernan.
A great shout, by the way.
Now, the man is first and foremost. There's a bit of nostalgia attached to that because obviously Robbie Coltrane was in Still Game. I adored Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah.
He had that appearance in Still Game. Robbie Coltrane is well known. He was a Scottish comedian before he was an actor and made his way really well. Ford Kiernan, I think, is really underrated as an actor because he's always done sketch comedy and mainly Still Game, right? But you look through any time that Jack in Still Game had any sort of issues going on, he was by light years the best actor in the show.
Yeah.
I think he's unknown enough outside of Scotland to be able to replace Hagrid.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, the comedy aspect of it, he'd be phenomenal at. We know he can do the accent. I think you put a beard on him, you make him look like a Jack. I think that is Hagrid.
I think that's a great
Do you know what, that's really good. I never ever would have thought of that one, but that's
no
great
idea
how
why
you
it
explained
came
it.
in
Yeah.
Box, man.
Oh, man,
really
I had no idea why it came into my head, but I just was like, oh man, how amazing would he be in that? And I would love it even if he'd done an audition or something. Funnily enough, the thought of Greg Hempel being in Deadpool came across my head, like because I know it's not what you want to happen on a Thursday night in your mum's house.
I don't think it's a sentence.
But it came into my mind, and I don't know. I just think it would be phenomenal, and I'd love it.
That's a great shout, man.
shout.
Really like
I
that.
felt good about that one.
Right, okay, so we're back on to Pedro, and you are up with Bellatrix.
Cool. So for Bellatrix, I've cast Ford Kieran. No, Bellatrix. Who did I go for Bellatrix? Oh, okay. So this I went down a bit of a kind of I'm getting pushed
A rabbit hole?
a rabbit hole. I kind of looked at this actor and then went into stuff that actor was in, and then went to what's this actor been in with that actor, and then it's come full circle to Doctor Who, but Billy Piper.
Okay.
I am telling you.
Did you sell it to me? Man?
Billy Piper, I am telling you. So Billy
I've
Piper,
never-
first and
I don't
foremost,
think
she's a
I've-
phenomenal actress.
Why
No,
not
no,
keep
great.
your cousins?
I
Because
don't-
I want to. Because I want to.
I don't think I've ever seen her play unhinged though.
Oh no, Billy Piper's always had that kind of wide-eyed ability to be. Like she's very very good at being in, like just changing direction very quickly. Right now, yes, obviously she made her debut in Doctor Who. She had that series, the Secret Diaries of Call Girls. Everything that she turns up in, she's one of those actresses that just tends to be the best thing that she's in. And there's just something about the wide-eyed nature of it, because the big thing with Bellatrix, right, and obviously it's an example of what was her name? Helena Bonham Carter. Could you have cast that better? Probably not, right? But everything that Bellatrix does is rooted in fear, and I honestly think Billy Piper would be astonishing at playing that. Like, I think she'd be so good at being able to show you how twisted and how evil she can be, but it's all rooted in the fact that she's so terrified of Jamie Campbell Bower.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll
cool.
give it a bash. I'll
Yeah,
watch
man.
the edition, see what I think.
She's so good, man. Watch the edition.
Any alternatives?
No, not off the top of my head, sorry.
So my alternative would be Tandy Newton.
Oh, I like it.
This is based going off of when she was on Line of Duty.
Ah, okay.
So it was either season 3 or season 4. Ros Huntley was the character's name.
4, I think.
It was a fucking great season. She was amazing in it, and she showed how deceptive she can be to the point where she fucked her own husband under the bus and framed him for being a serial killer.
That's right.
I think Tandy Newton would be absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I can see it. I think she's amazing. She's
You've not
amazing.
really seen her. You've not really seen her totally unhinged like Bellatrix is, but I think she's got that range and she's got that capability.
More than happy with that.
For
Yeah.
Tandy Newton.
Great show.
Love
it. So for me, it's on to Lucius Malfoy, and we're back to Dev Patel. I think Dev Patel would make an outstanding Lucius Malfoy.
I think the
White
thing
hair
is,
and everything.
I think he's just so good. You could put him in any role,
could,
really, and
you really
he would
could.
work well.
But I think you'd be a really good Lucius Malfoy. You get a lot of character development throughout the season, throughout the books. You spend a lot of time with him as well.
Yeah.
I think he's got the capability for you really not to like him.
I would be really interested in, without venturing into kind of controversial territory, I would be really interested in what that, because the whole the theme of Voldemort and his followers and stuff like that is effectively white supremacy, right? I would be very, very interested to see what that looked like in a family that wasn't white.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's too many white people. in
No, but I
Harry
agree.
Potter.
That's what I mean.
We need to diversify
That
I think
whole
that's-
pure blood ethnicity.
I was
would love to see that.
always under the impression that Slytherin was meant to be like kind of an allegory for white supremacy.
No, it is 100%. That's why it's the
It is.
blonde hair, blue eyes. That's exactly what it is.
That's what it is.
But that's what I'm saying. I would love. I think that's a fantastic.
Flip
Of
it.
all the roles that you could change the race of to explore it differently. I think the Malfoy family would
That
be
could
a
be an
phenomenal
interesting,
example of that. I love that, man. Love
That
that.
could be cool.
Thanks.
I think
Prime Minister.
I think that was one of the ones that talking about bringing back old people that were in the originals. I think Tom Felton's one of the ones that people really want him to play.
I would bring him back as I wouldn't bring him back because I want Dev Patel now, which is annoying because I've got one. That's not really good, is it? But if they brought him back, I'd be fine with it.
Right.
I would be fine with it, and I think he's actually a really good actor. Tom Felton.
I do.
Yeah.
Any alternatives?
I do have one. You both watch Peaky Blinders?
Yes.
Do you remember in Peaky Blinders, Sir Oswald Mosley,
Yes.
Yes.
Sam Claflin.
Who was also in Hunger Games.
Yeah,
Fucking
millions of stuff.
outstanding actor.
Yeah,
Amazing
really good.
actor. He would be a really good.
Imagine Oswald Mosley, bleach blonde hair,
Talk about white supremacy.
talking about white supremacy. He's got previous.
I almost cast him as someone else.
Take that, take
Yeah.
what he did in Peaky Blinders, and make him Malfoy's dad, and it's it. That was my favourite. I want Dev Patel. I want Dev Patel.
He was another person that I'd thought of for Snape.
I thought about him for
I
Snape
felt like
as well.
having 4 names was just a bit too much, so I cut
Do you
him.
know, the other thing, and it did come into my mind, the other thing that with Snape, the same idea with the Dev Patel thing and with other people I considered, I think Sam Claflin's just too good looking.
Yeah,
Like,
potentially.
I am a straight man who is married to a wonderful woman. I would go with Sam Claflin.
I would touch that man's balls.
Without a shadow of a doubt, with my tongue. Right, I would. I'd be all over it. Hi, Mum.
Yeah.
I'd be all over it. Like, he's a beautiful man. It's Ben Barnes. He's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
He's too good looking for Snape.
That's why Harry Melling's a good shout then.
Exactly. Harry
Nothing
Melling,
against
yeah,
Harry
that's
Melling,
not-
I'm really sorry, mate.
We'll fix it in post.
He's sitting there with Jack Nicholson and Christopher Walken and everybody raging at us.
Aye.
Ah, man.
Right, Stefan, we're back on to you, and we are looking at Aunt and Uncle Dursley.
I'll need to look at my notes.
I swear for a second I thought you were going to say I'm dead, girl.
Can we, man? Can we? Can't believe he ate that butthole.
What was it last week, the Geordie quote? Remember on the Gunnerverse one?
Oh,
Obviously it was Charlie Hunnam, wasn't it? Charlie Hunnam
Aye.
being...
he's fucking Australian Geordie accent.
It's the weirdest accent of all
Then it
time,
came
isn't it,
out.
by the way?
Beautiful man, but
Oh,
until he owns his
Aye.
wife.
not as good looking as Sam Claflin, like, right enough.
I
Stefan?
forgot what I was doing. Who is it again?
Aunt and Uncle Dursley.
Yes, sorry. Okay, so for this role, I wanted to cast kind of more comedic actors, purely just because they're going to get the stupid stuff to do. They want you to hate them pretty early.
Yeah.
So I couldn't decide between James Acaster and Jack Whitehall, but I think either one would be very easy to despise. Jack Whitehall probably more so. Again, it was decided by the age profile. And for Aunt Dursley, I went with Claudia Jessie. If you don't remember who she is, so she's been in Line of Duty. I think she was in it for like 5 seasons, and she's more
I think
recently.
she was for 5 seconds.
She's more recently she's been in Bridgerton. I've seen her in neither of those things because I've not watched it. I know her
Have you not
from.
watched Line of Duty?
Who was she
I've not
in Line
watched
of
Line of
Duty?
Duty.
Who was she in
I don't know. Sorry.
Who did she play in Bridget?
In Bridgerton, she played Eloise, I believe.
So you know that, but you don't know Line of Duty? Fucking.
The reason I know that is because I know her from random interviews that she's done that started appearing on my TikTok. She is fucking hilarious.
She's brilliant.
She's so
What's her name?
so funny. Her name is Claudia Jessie.
And so you're casting her in an acting role and you've never seen her act?
Never seen her act.
You suck.
Thanks.
She's
No.
brilliant. She's a great
Yeah.
actress.
See, I've got it on good authority that she was really
Claudia
great.
what?
Aye.
Claudia Jessie.
Claudia Winkleman.
And she's really funny. Also, I've picked her because of how she looks a wee bit, because of who I cast as.
Wait, she was in 2 episodes and killed in Line of Duty. She's the one
Right,
who got
Glenn.
fucked out the window.
5 seasons.
She wasn't
5
in
seasons,
she
mate.
wasn't.
5 seasons.
I mean, she was there for 5 minutes.
Did Line of Duty last 5 seasons?
Aye.
That's what I've seen.
Six.
What is it?
5 or 6. 5 or 6.
It's coming
Fair
back.
enough.
Just leave it.
No, don't leave at the end. It was pathetic.
Jerry Mercurio couldn't finish his fucking dinner.
Clearly.
Did
But
you
bring
watch
it
the other
back.
one? What was the other one? The one in the submarine?
This is the Harry Potter episode,
sorry,
guys.
sorry.
Fucking hell, we
Right,
can't
okay.
go on another tangent.
Right,
No, we'll keep
Dursley's, right, so you've got
Right,
some...
so either
random fella in
James
Duty.
Acaster or Jack Whitehall.
I think those are
And-
the first heads guns of
Yeah.
the evening.
Yeah, and Claudia Jessie.
Alternatives.
I think what will happen in the show is they'll go the opposite route because they went the comedic route with the Dursleys. And in actual fact, some of the criticisms that you could level at the Harry Potter movies were the fact that the main character has been subject to such severe levels of child abuse. I think they will paint out the Dursleys for the most part as being pretty awful.
Yeah.
And not comedically, and I think that they will show a softer side slightly to Aunt Petunia because she at least shows a bit of a crack.
Oh, you've seen that bit for
The
scene
deleted
that came in the
scenes,
film,
yeah.
which was absolutely beautiful.
So I think they will do that, but they will. I don't think they'll go down the comedic route with the Dursleys too much.
No, I'm going purely off of the movie scenes that I've
That
seen.
you've seen. If they do comedic, I don't hate that, but I think the route they'll go down will be a bit more serious. I've went for, and funnily enough, sticking with Peaky Blinders, Uncle Vernon. I've went for Paul Anderson, if he can get his shit together and hopefully he's alright and stuff like that. He's going through some stuff. Yes, if not, then my backup for him, and I want him in a different role that we've not cast tonight, but my backup was Stephen Graham, who's probably the best UK actor going just now.
He's amazing.
I don't think the part's big enough for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's that guy. He could be the star, or he could fade into the background.
Yeah,
Like he could play any role.
ever. He's phenomenal.
Aye, okay.
And then Petunia, I've gone for Claire Foy, who played the Queen in the early seasons of The Crown. She's a fantastic actress. So I've gone, and again, it's the whole uptight, prim, proper feeling of what Aunt Petunia was, and the way that she treats Harry and Dursley and spoils him so much is based on what people perceive of her.
Yeah.
And I think Claire Foy would be really, really good at playing that.
Again, my choices were based off of the age profile that was decided by
Warner Brothers.
me picking Jack O'Connell as
So
Sirius
again, I
Black.
think they both meet that kind of.
Stephen
No,
Graham
Stephen
and
Graham's
Jack
my
O'Connell
backup.
is
He's older. But
That's it.
excuse me, my main one is Paul Anderson. Plus, bear in mind, these guys, they didn't go to Hogwarts. So Aunt Petunia.
Yeah, I'm going off of the book ages.
I don't remember them saying in the books that you've not read.
No, I looked it up.
Saying what age Uncle Vernon was. I
It does, eh?
No, it doesn't. I think that Aunt Petunia needs to be a similar age to Lily, but she
Younger.
could easily have an older husband.
Sorry?
She could easily have an older husband.
Yeah, in one of the books apparently it mentions that he's 4 years older than her.
Well, there you go. So Paul Anderson is exactly 4 years older than Claire Foy.
Cool.
Boom.
What was Claire Foy?
4 years younger than Paul Anderson.
My alternatives are Matt Lucas and Keely Hawes. Boom.
Watch my table.
Yep.
Michael Droppington.
Aye.
Aye.
Get obvious.
So
Next, we're back onto Pedro and we're onto Mad Eye Moody. Don't read that last one.
So as I mentioned earlier on, I am not going to do this every time we do a fan casting. I've already cast Matt Smith. I do not understand how, other than Brendan Gleeson, how you cast Mad Eye Moody better than Peter Capaldi. Job done. Phenomenal actor. Put an eye patch on him. Call him Sandy. We'll see you.
I will see your Peter Capaldi and I will raise you a Tom Hardy.
So, I mean, if you can get Tom Hardy, you get Tom Hardy.
You can get Tom Hardy.
But can you? But
HBO.
to play Mad Eye Moody in a TV version of Harry Potter.
It's just the
Tom
fucking
Hardy.
basically the same guy played in Peaky Blinders.
If he
with
just-
an eye patch on.
If you tell him he gets to play somebody that's fucking mental, he's doing it.
I don't know. I don't think Tom Hardy's
born
particularly
into magic,
person.
Harry.
Exactly.
I was raised by it.
I'm a fucking Voldemort! Fucking Voldemort! I fucking hate him!
I'm gonna
I
spell
don't
off.
think,
I'll give you
I
a
don't
spell
think
off.
you can get Tom Hardy.
I'm good. Get Tom Hardy.
I think if you get Tom Hardy, you get Tom Hardy. I mean, personally, what I would really like to see in this episode is a one-man show of Harry Potter with Tom Hardy.
Two pumpkin pasties, please.
True fucking pasties! I don't think you're getting Tom Hardy, so Peter Capaldi wins it for me. But if you can get Tom Hardy, you get Tom Hardy.
James McAvoy.
Nah, if you can get Tom Hardy.
Cool. Back to me, and it's Filch. For me, Filch needs to be Andy Serkis.
Oh, right, okay,
I
yeah.
think he'd be outstanding. He could play that part really, really well.
Love it.
There's not really anybody else I think who could pull off the Filch role. I want you to see you raise me.
I can't raise you.
Nah, that's too good. It's far too good.
I went for Sacha him.
Alan
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Oh, great shout.
Um,
Tremendous shout.
it's a good show.
It's really
Fucking
good.
great shout.
That was a good one. No, I still prefer Andy Serkis.
What are you going to get with Andy Serkis? Andy Serkis is going to play Argus
He's
Filch.
going to fucking look.
Aye. he's going to play Argus Filch the way Argus Filch is in the books, right? Sacha Baron Cohen's going to play him like Thénardier in the Lord of the Rings. Les Miserables. Oh my god, get me another Guinness.
Les Mas of the Rings.
He's going to play him like Thénardier.
Yeah.
Man, the recording isn't
Andy
off
Serkis
after this. It's going to be
It's going
brutal.
to be good fun.
Can't wait for you to see this episode, guys.
Oh man.
Right, okay.
Andy Serkis wins.
Stefan, you're back on, and it's James and Lily Potter.
Okay. So, my casting choice for Lily Potter is, again, a very popular one online. I went with Karen Gillan. She seems to be a bit of a... Well, it's not
I've
mine.
not seen that online.
Oh, people...
Basically, they're just casting anybody with red hair.
Which
is where I got a like a cook for.
Well, I like her cook as well.
But I really like Karen Gillan. She's brilliant in everything.
She's amazing in Jumanji.
Yeah, she's amazing in Jumanji. I've never
Tremendous.
seen her be bad in anything. And
You've not watched Doctor Who?
my only concern is it's not going to be it's not a massive role, but she will
Depending
she'll
on what they
appear
do, but
back
see,
now and
if
again.
Warner Brothers take my idea and they spend a bit of time with them beforehand,
Yeah.
before they get killed.
The only problem is was she when she died?
Well, they're not
She's
in their early
20s.
20s.
So that's the thing. So Karen Gillan's about 35.
I'm alright with
She
that.
looks
Fix
I'm
it,
fine.
fix it.
I don't think it would matter.
Am I 19?
Mate, if fucking Robert De Niro can be 30 again in The Irishman.
They'll figure it out. No, Karen Gillan, I think she's a
Great shout.
I don't think
choice. I
there's
was really
any
like that
way, and there's any possible way when they're developing this that they don't make Harry Potter's parents and what was the collective name for Padfoot, Prongs and
The Marauders.
the Marauders. I don't think there's any way they don't make them more prominent.
Yeah.
And I think,
Well, there is talk of the Marauders having its own show.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So
remember
you
about that, wasn't there?
there's going to be flashbacks. There's going I think Karen Gillan deserves the platform for her to shine through as an actress.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing she's done, obviously, has been Avengers and Guardians, right?
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. And she's amazing in Doctor Who, obviously. But she's brilliant as Nebula.
How many times have you mentioned Doctor Who?
As many times as I possibly can. I think.
Fucking hell, Doctor Who episode.
And
There's more
I get shit for bringing up the Three Musketeers
He's
twice.
definitely spoken more about Doctor Who
Then
in
I-
all these episodes than you have the Three
Aye, but
Musketeers.
there's 60 years of Doctor Who, there's one Three Musketeers film.
There's actually lots of Three
There's one that you
Musketeers
talk
films.
about.
Oh, there's one good one, but there's lots of
There's
Three
one that you
Musketeers
talk
films.
about.
Right, okay, so
Anyway.
who would you have for James? We've done well.
So James, oh shit, hang on.
Let me get my notes.
While you look at your notes,
No,
I had
I've got it,
Thomas
I've got
and
it.
Mackenzie.
Thomas and Mackenzie.
Thomas and Mackenzie, she's the sister or the friend in Jojo Rabbit, which
To
was
play James Potter?
Yeah.
Hi. Exactly.
I'll tell you, we're going all out this time.
Exactly. Did you know Doctor Who was played by a woman? Or previously? No, Thomas and Mackenzie from Jojo Rabbit. She's also in a thing just now with James Norton called Joy, which is coming out on Netflix just now and is apparently very good. I think she's a fantastic actress. She was also in Last Night in Soho, whatever it's called. I think she'd be a good show.
Cool.
Fair enough. So the one that I had picked for James Potter is Callum Turner. The problem here is that he's already kind of been in that universe. He played Theseus Scamander, Newt's brother, in the second and third
Because that's why I
Fantastic
went
Beasts
to see
movies.
the films.
Exactly.
I think you got away with that.
I feel like put glasses on him, you won't recognise
I
him.
don't know how far I could suspend my disbelief for that, to be totally honest, man.
My main reason being he's a handsome man, and you need whoever plays, because I've cast a pretty attractive man to be Snape and Dev Patel, so you need somebody really good looking to have won Lily over.
Yeah,
So
fair.
yeah, I went with Callum Turner.
What did you have for James?
So my alternatives were Olivia Cook and Nicholas Hoult.
See, I was so close to Nicholas Hoult for multiple
He's just got that
things.
wholesome
Phenomenal actor. But he's brilliant.
British uni guy look.
But he can play them all. Like he can be a prick. He can be funny.
A
Like,
blue guy.
it's actually a bit ridiculous. He's not on my list anywhere.
It's a bit ridiculous he's not as famous as he should be.
He should
He should be
massive. He
way
should
more
be.
famous than
Good
him.
chance he might be after Nosferatu, but we'll come back to that. I had Thomas and Mackenzie for Lily, and I had Asa Butterfield for James.
Ah, that's a good one.
Again, yes, James was a bit cooler and whatever else, but he still has to look like Harry Potter's dad.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I think Asa Butterfield is just too old to play Harry Potter.
Just a wee bit.
Aye, but I think if you'd have put glasses on Google, you had Harry Potter.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Right, and last but not least, we have Umbridge.
Is this the
Pedro.
last one?
Yes, this is the last
Oh, I
one.
like this as well. I'm quite pleased we have done here, guys.
I think you'll be buzzing with mine.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. If it's the same person, it's a miracle again, right? It's a Euro level miracle. Michelle Gomez, Scottish actress, comedian, done millions of TV stuff, Green Wing and everything else, done Doctor Who, funnily enough. She is married to Jack Davenport, who was in Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that.
Oh, right, okay.
What's she been in though? Because I'm trying to picture her.
Green Wing, Doctor Who.
Something that I would have seen.
I I mean, I'm surprised you don't know her from that. She's done pretty much every comedy show going, right?
Okay.
But she has got such a dark side to her,
Okay.
right? So give her a look. Again, if you Google her, you'll know exactly who I mean when you look her up. She's fantastic. Like, she's so edgy. She was in the book group a long time
Say her
ago.
name again?
Michelle Gomez.
Oh fuck! Aye, that's a good show. I like it.
I love her.
So,
Yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
dark edges, an actor who has a dark edge who could play Dolores Umbridge, and I've flipped it. Matt Smith.
Right, gender swap the character?
Yep.
I don't hate that. I don't hate. Do you know the difficulty
Doesn't
we
need
have
to be
with
a
that?
female. He could play a male being Davy Umbridge.
I know. I that was kind of the assumption I made. The danger I think you would have with that is Umbridge is so disgusting as a human being. I think it would be incredibly difficult to make that role a man.
No, I don't think so.
I think the problem is when you have that mix of this like kind of like almost squeaky voiced, unassuming small women.
But it wouldn't even be squeaky
combined.
voice, it would just be soft voiced. So it would be Quirrell, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
But then being an absolute evil
Horrible.
bastard like Matt
Fair
Smith
enough.
was in Morbius.
Aye. I weirdly don't hate it.
I
Like,
was a fucking great show.
I so they are. It's just whether or not because for me in the entire Harry Potter, Voldemort aside, because he's just fucking Magic Hitler, right? That's what he is. Magic Hitler versus Space Jesus. There's the episode of the title.
I don't
The
know
episode of the
about
title?
that.
No, yeah, I don't ever put that on YouTube. Matt Smith, whoever you put in that role, I think Dolores Umbridge is the most needlessly twisted and nasty piece of work in the entire universe. That I think as soon as you make that a man, it kind of changes the dynamic quite drastically.
Not if you make it a very soft-spoken man who's very shy and
Yeah.
reserved, and then the evil side comes out when it's time to dish out punishment.
Yeah.
But it's
Would
not
you-
done in a loud, aggressive.
No, totally
toxic
know what
way.
you mean.
It's
Aye.
just done in a very callous way.
Yeah.
so would in your head would he be overtly pleasant when he's
Yes.
talking to people
Yep.
despite the fact that everyone he's
It's
saying
nice
is
as pie.
horrifying?
Yes.
Right, okay. I could be okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think you could pull it off
Alternatively-
without a doubt.
Margot Robbie.
Listen, Margot could do it.
Maybe not now. She used to do it. Get a bit of time to get back to
True,
normal.
very true. I really enjoyed that.
That's us. We are all at a cast.
I just tried to have a look at my alternative casting for my own casting there. After you done Matt Smith and it threw me so much, I was like, who would I do as Umbridge? Who would I do as Umbridge? I'm feeling that. The funnily enough, a person you did mention that I had and scored out for Michelle Gomez was Keely Hawes,
Okay.
based off of It's a Sin.
Yes.
And that
Being
one.
an absolute evil bastard, isn't it?
Prick.
Fair. And that's us, guys. That is our fan casting for Harry Potter the TV show. Please let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Anybody we absolutely smashed, anybody you think how the fuck did you just pick that person and it should have been this person. Thoughts on the TV show in general that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, interested to hear that.
Yeah. Anything at all, drop us a wee line, matesmoviesandbox@gmail.co.uk. You can get us on all of the socials. And before we leave, I'm just going to leave you with a wee joke.
Go for it.
Excellent.
What do a delivery driver and a gynaecologist have in common? They can both smell it, but they can't taste it. Thank you very much.
Love that.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.